the OnePlus 12 and the OnePlus Watch 2. This may be the best combination that you can get on the market. Now, of course, that's debatable because those of you that are using the S24 Ultra and the watch, the Galaxy Watch 6, and of course the 7 is about to be released, you may feel differently about that. But I'm just basically saying, for some of you out there, this might be the best combination with smartwatch or smartphone, honestly. And I'm going to tell you why. You got one of the best smartphones on the market easily in the OnePlus 12. I mean, this is such an excellent device. I'm serious. I mean, and the thing that stands out the most for me is the design, of course. I love this design. The battery life. Oh my goodness. The battery life, 2 days. I'm talking about moderate to heavy, 2 days easily, no struggles, no battery anxiety. It's something when you can only have to charge your phone literally 3 times a week. I mean, that's how you're not going to be worrying about battery degradation, because you're not charging your battery every day, unlike Samsung devices, which you have to charge those phones every single day. Because even though, as much as I like my S23 Ultra and it's a great device, don't get me wrong, but that phone ain't giving me no 2 days battery life. It's just not. It's not even giving me the standby time that this device gives me. Not even close. So, the biggest things to me, the design and battery life. And the thing that makes the OnePlus Watch 2 great is because the battery life in this is 2 days. Now, I'm saying 2 days for me because I always use the always on display. I always want to see the time. So I'm always using the always on display. Now, if you're the type of person that likes to twist your arm, to see the time, raise the wake or whatever. I mean, turn the raise or whatever you call it. You know what I'm talking about. Then, you might get 3 days out of this. Now, I was able to squeeze 3 days out of it, but I mean, I really had to squeeze it. So basically, on a normal basis, the way I use my watch is 2 full days, no problem. 2 full days. So you're talking about 2 days on the phone and 2 days on the watch. And you know what else? Another reason why I like this watch so much. Now, I got to say this because I'm just going to be honest. This is now my favorite smartwatch. I didn't think I'd be able to say that because, of course, I love Samsung products. Don't get me wrong. But I find the performance on this watch to be a lot smoother than the Galaxy. Now, I got the Gear S4, so maybe the Gear S5 or the 6, could be better. But I have the 4. And for me, this just gives me better performance. Definitely gives me more battery life. I'm getting 2 days. I'm only can get a day out of my Gear S4. That's all I can get is, 1 day. That's it. Okay. Now, maybe if I use the turn thing, maybe I can get a day and a half, maybe. Now, keep in mind, everybody uses their watch differently, just like everybody uses their phone differently. I always like the always on display on. I want to be able to see the time. And then when I do, make it light up, it's 100% brightness, just like my phone's 100% brightness. That's just the way I like, my displays to be. So if you're going to use it much dimmer, your phone and your watch. And of course, if you don't get as many notifications that I get probably close to 1,000 notifications every day because I'm, subscribed to a ton of channels, then you might even get even longer battery life than me. Because everybody don't have, get tons and tons and tons of notifications all the time. And that's going to matter as well. So, but for me, the way I use my phone and my watch, real heavy, 100% brightness, always on display on all the time. 2 days, can't get that on my Samsung watch. I've never been able to get that on any Samsung watch. Not me. I'm only speaking for myself. But I just like this better. The sleep app on here is actually better than the Gear S4. The overall performance, battery life is better. It just gets real bright. I think the only thing right now, the only two things I like better on the Galaxy is that the font size is a little bit bigger, and also I like the rotating bezel. Only thing about it, the rotating bezel is not quite. Sometimes it seems like it's out of sync. You know, when I'm turning it, it's not. It's not accurate. Like it's kind of like delayed. Yeah, it's kind of delayed when I'm turning it, and sometimes I'm turning it, then nothing's happening. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a software. Maybe I just need to update. But whatever. This is now my new number one smartwatch because the 2-day battery life and the performance, the brightness, the exercising modes, all the things that come with this. I just love this smartwatch. I just do. Now, let me say this. Now, just because, now I'm not saying that however you use this smartwatch, you can get the same performance if you use it with the S23 Ultra or any Samsung phone. You're going to get the same performance. It's not going to be a different experience with this if you use something other than the OnePlus 12. I want to make that very clear from the beginning. So I don't want you to think, I have to get the phone in order to get the full experience with the watch. No, it's not true. You're going to get the same experience with this watch with any other Android device that you get with the OnePlus 12. Only reason why I know that is because this watch is not hooked up to this phone. This is my secondary device. My main device is the S23 Ultra. So this watch is hooked up to this phone. Now, if I decide I want to use this as my main phone, which I wouldn't, only because I just prefer One UI. So it'll always be my secondary phone. The chance of me using it with this is slim to none. Even though I can just go back and forth between using my S23 Ultra and this if I want to, because I usually carry two phones in my pocket at all times. That's just me. I love having two different phones in my pocket. I got two different numbers. Okay. But I'm telling you, the reason why I'm saying this is such a great combination, like I said, 2 days battery life, 2 days battery life, great performance. Also, and I'm sorry I didn't prepare to show this on this video, but when you hook up the charger in the back of this, you get such a nice charging animation, which is something you don't get on the Samsung. It's just boring, just a little round circle. It's extremely boring. Same thing, you get a nice animated charging animation when you plug this up. It's really, really nice. Okay, very, very nice. Now, with this alone, you're getting great biometrics, great design, great build quality, great button placement, great biometrics, great always on display, great performance. I mean, silky, smooth. I mean, oh my goodness. Very, very responsive. I mean, I love this device. I'm telling you, I love it. It's just so smooth and so fast. Excellent battery life, excellent dual stereo speakers, excellent cameras. I mean, this is by far my favorite Android phone right now. It just is. It just is. And I love my S23 Ultra, don't get me wrong, but this is my number one phone right now. Love it. So if you're thinking about, getting this, get the Watch 2 Classic because you'll love it. You absolutely love it. Both of these, you're charging only 3 days a week, because 2 and 2. Okay. Now you might get more, like I said, you might get more battery life with both of these if you don't use it. The settings as bright as I use mine. Remember, I'm 100% brightness on both of these. I'm always on display with both of these. I'm quad HD with this. Okay. So I use both my devices heavy, but if you don't use it like me, you might get 3 days. So it's a great combination, honestly. Now, when I got this, it was $250. The price seemed to have gone up a little bit. Now it's like $275. So if you don't want to pay that much, I would say just wait, till that price drops down to where you're comfortable with it. And then I would, highly recommend that you get this watch, because I believe you'll absolutely love it. Like I said, there's one thing about having 1 day of battery life, but it's nice when you can go 2 full days without having to worry about charging your device. 2 full days. Because I use this every night to track my sleep. So I'm sleeping with the Watch 2, and it does an excellent job with that. So I'm loving it. I'm loving this. My favorite smartphone at the moment. And I said, this is a great, great combination. Something you should definitely consider. Maybe one of the best combinations out there. I'm not going to say the best because I haven't had, all these other smartwatches out there in their devices, as well. So I haven't had, a lot of newer devices. I'm just basing this on what I have here and what I got in my arsenal. All right, so I definitely highly recommend both of these phones. For what you're going to get for this phone, like less than $700, depending on where you get it from. All the stuff that you get with this phone is just unbelievable. I mean, seriously. And you pay, if you want the S24 Ultra, you're gonna pay over $1,000 unless you get a good trade in. But you're gonna pay considerably less for this, and it's just gonna be just as good, if not better, in some areas. With definitely the charging. I mean, 100 watt charging, 50 watt wireless charging, 10 watt reverse. All three of those is better than what you get on a Samsung device. Okay, any top tier Samsung device can't touch the charging speeds of the OnePlus 12. Can't touch it at all. Standby time, can't touch it at all. Now, of course, the camera is going to be back and forth, depending on what you like, depending on your taste, depending on what looks good to you. That's highly subjective, is the cameras. Because what I think is great, you may not think is great. What you think is mediocre, I may think is great. So that's highly subjective. It really is. But you can't go wrong with this combo. I think it's excellent, and I definitely think it's worth considering. So thank you all for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. I hope everybody out there staying safe, staying well, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.